My name is Thomas Regan. I'm a professional property investor here in Australia. And over the last 4 years, me and my wife have 20x'd our equity position in our property portfolio, meaning we've taken our capital position from $45,000 to $1 million in 4 years. Now, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was investing in property, obviously, and what are the things that will stress you out as a property investor if you do not delegate them. And those things are, if you think you can do everything yourself, and you try and manage your properties yourself, you won't really build a large property portfolio, or maybe you will, but it's much easier to just pay a property manager to manage your properties as the property investor, because then that gives you time. You're effectively buying back your time to focus on the things that are important as the property investor. Okay, so what are the things that are important as the property investor? The things that are important as the property investor are managing or just overseeing the entire property portfolio, assessing how the capital growth position is going, and then redeploying your capital. And what I mean by that is taking the equity growth from your portfolio and then deploying it and effectively growing your portfolio by buying more properties. Okay, so why would you want to invest in the first place? Obviously to become wealthy, obviously to have your properties grow and ultimately become financially free. I don't think many people are buying properties because they want to manage and get stressed about managing properties. So if you know that, or me knowing that, I've really tried to distill how do I de-stress my life as much as possible when I'm growing or having a large property portfolio. So number one is, first and foremost, get the best possible property manager you can. And the only way you can do this is really by trial and error. But before you get into the trial and error interview as many property managers as you can. Now, I habitually do this every time I buy a new property, whether I have a good property manager that I'm happy with or not. I will just interview a handful of new property managers to find the best one. And once you figure out how important this is, you really just won't skip this step, because the difference between having a good property manager and a bad one is the difference between, having one property and being very, very stressed versus having 100 properties. Well, I can't really say that because I don't have 100 properties. We only have 11. But having 11 properties and not being stressed whatsoever. The reason I'm not stressed whatsoever with the day-to-day operations of the properties, because I'm confident in my property manager that they know exactly what to do, and they know the most important things to do with the property portfolio for me. And that is, number one, find the best quality tenants, and number two, find the best quality tenants. Basically, if you get the right property manager, they will handle obviously getting the property tenanted, making sure it's vacant as little as possible, and you won't have to get on their ass and stay on their ass when a tenant is moving out, because they will just do their thing and get it tenanted as quickly as possible. That's what a good property manager does, and that's the other critical part, like getting it tenanted and getting the best quality tenant, right? They're the two most important parts. And then obviously there's the day-to-day running of the property itself. But if you first of all just get the best quality tenant, it cuts out like 90% of the work that would otherwise be there. Okay, so that's why good property managers are worth their weight in gold. But for me, or for the person, whoever it is that is the investor, the best use of their time is to figure out, or be trying to figure out how to grow the property portfolio. Now, if you're stuck in the weeds, the day-to-day grind of trying to manage your properties yourself, or trying to manage your property managers, or doing the property management for your property managers, which a lot of people do. A lot of people handle the communications between OC managers or between tradespeople, plumbers, electricians, whatever needs to get done at the property. They'll just handle it themselves, which, if you are having to do that yourself, is to me a red flag that your property manager is not doing their job properly. A property manager that is good at their job, like if the issues are minor and you've given them authority to handle that sort of stuff, like handle the repairs of tap washers and doorknobs breaking and all that sort of stuff, they won't even really bother you about that stuff unless it's quite serious. Okay, so. And to be honest, you really don't need to know about that stuff. All you need to do is have a budget for repairs that have come up, and then at the end of the month, when all the repair bills come up, and there shouldn't be that many, obviously, but I mean at the end of the year when you can see all the repair bills, you'll just check over it at that point and check that your finances are on track and everything like that. And if there needs to be a conversation about why things are so expensive, or this or that, or why a quote that you think should be $150 is $500, that's when you have that conversation. But again, if your property manager's good, they naturally will just do the right thing by you as the investor. And the right thing by you that a novice property investor wouldn't do is, if there needs to be some work done, they would not have a concept of how much it should cost, and they would employ someone that's very expensive, overpriced, to do a job that's should be much cheaper and easy to do. Now, I've made it very clear that if you want to grow a large property portfolio, you should employ a competent property manager, and it is definitely in your best interest when it comes to managing your properties to find the best possible property manager. You, as the investor, should focus on the big picture, and that is growing your wealth through property. And managing properties day to day is really not going to get you there. So stop trying to manage your property yourself and get a good quality property manager. See you guys next time. Bye.